long. We repair and replace as we do in the City of Osage Beach. We're fortunate enough to be able to do that. So nothing gets too old or ages too long that we don't maintain it. We take the clarifiers down and we steam clean them and sand them and put them back up. We pump the sludge out. We maintain the grounds area. We upgrade everything that we can possibly upgrade. We've had no, like I say, we've had no citations that I know of. We had one during a transition period from one contractor to another. Some of our paperwork wasn't filed in a timely manner. That's the only one I could find.
Do you find that it's beneficial to have another city partner to work with in managing the plant?
I don't know if it's beneficial. It's nice to be able to spread some of the expenses. Yes, I do that. We're a little unequal, but we actually have equal representation on the board. I do have something that was not on the slide. And I wrote this as of last night. Yesterday it was suggested that the sales tax could be imposed to pay for a regional sewer treatment plant. In the past, it was assumed that the majority of any tax would be paid by the tourist. The local economy in Osage Beach, which I'm only speaking for the city right now, has made some major changes in the last decade. We now have a retail destination that attracts surrounding day trippers. We have more condos that owners have equity in the area, and they are coming down and they have more disposable income on their extended stays. We now have an increased senior population on fixed incomes and several tax increases in the recent years. One was voted down by the voters for a different issue, and another one never really got support of the community, and this was a different issue. But you should be aware that if you're considering taxing the area, at least in my city, a tax will be very difficult to get across no matter what issue it is. They have some genuine concerns on more taxes.
Mayor, I'd like to ask you the same question I asked Commissioner Lyons earlier this morning, and that is the AG's office with this initiative that we have in cooperation with DNR will be involved in 30 different litigation suits against various businesses and certified entities down here probably by the end of the year, which is really unprecedented. You've got DNR that is working with a bright line set of guidelines and working very quickly on beach closings and things that are in that vein. That having been said, what, if anything, should state government be considering as we look at the second part of the title of this dialogue, which is a roadmap for the future? What, if you have any advice for our office or for Jefferson City, what would it be?
I have a couple of issues. I'm probably not going to be very popular, but that's not been what's happened to me in the past anyway. The issue of the litigations. What I read in the newspaper, not always what you read, but my understanding is several of the people had been cited and noted beforehand for maybe a year or two. So some of it was rather old as far as being cited and then brought on the table recently. And I think that the DNR probably could use some help in inspections, because if you don't inspect, people don't maintain. And if they know they're going to be inspected every year or 18 months, they're more apt to maintain and take care of business. But if they know it's going to slide, then you end up with situations that get so distressed that they're hard to take care of, and then they go into litigation. The other is, I would hope that legislation in the future would help some of the other communities which are smaller and don't really have the revenue source that we do. And we understand that we're fortunate to have what we have, because we spend millions of dollars a year taking care of our system and the plant. But there are other issues out there that they could pull together, and with grants and funding and some support, at least start a nucleus of a joint treatment plant and work together. There's an economy of scale. But the logistics around here, with the way the terrain is and the topography, it's going to be difficult. And as I heard before, you're not going to service the whole area. The third issue, which reflects us because people think we own the beaches. And I've had many emails that they're going to help me clean my beaches. And people assume that we own the beaches, and that hurts us. PB2 has been closed off and on a couple times this year. It reopens, and there's no reason why it's closed, no reason why it's reopening. Most of us kind of know what it is, but if the government could solve the problem once and for all, and maybe not have to open and close every other time something happens, either a rain event or the geese come back or something like that. PB1 is closed again, and I've been accused of the problem with PB1. The problem we have is perception, and when you say the beaches are closed, people assume the lake is closed. And frankly, over the last year, the E. coli has just really caused a lot of heartburn down here. And what I've heard in the last 2 days, I think E. coli is not the issue that it was, because I think that was a rain event and some people that weren't taking care of their systems. I don't think it's a huge event. And I also don't see that phosphorus and nitrogen, I see that they may be in a problem in the future, but right now it keeps our bass guys coming down here for the fish. We have some problems, we don't say we don't, but I think there's nothing that we can't resolve. But I would hope that the legislative would help us gently with the counties and with not a real heavy hand, because I think we're capable of taking care of the lake, and I think we've shown that. Thank you.
Very good, thank you.